I have to stop the episode. I actually have to. This is the first time I've ever had to actually stop because of a dub. Oh my God. This one actually hurts. Like, okay, look, I've been so allowing of the dubs, the changes up to now, like removing all of the Sakura and Julian stuff. Fine. Removing the Lee and Julian stuff. Fine. This dub's actually is breaking me. I'm cracked. Like, oh my, You're all listening to Keepers of the Clow. I'm CC Yamato.
I'm Alex.
And this week's episode that we're talking about is Cardcaptors episode 10. It's also Cardcaptor Sakura episode 10. This episode wasn't aired in North America as far as I know, and the title of it is The Unexpected Reunion.
Yes, and the Japanese title is Sakura and the Sports Day of Flowers.
The screenplay of this was Hiroshi Ishii, which is interesting to me because, like, the Narase Okawa of Clamp is usually the screenwriter for most of these episodes. And this is a chapter, like, this episode is directly based off of a chapter from the manga. And yet they got someone else to write the storyboard for this one.
That's a really odd choice.
It is very curious.
Well, I know that the listeners already know we're going to disagree on this episode.
Oh, are we? Okay. I think I've already said it. When I tried to do a version of this back in 2020 during, the lockdown times, and I tried to do a thing called Defending Cardcaptors, I did a bunch of episodes, and this one almost broke me. Like, this one put me off doing the project for a little while.
Really?
It kind of unofficially... I feel like it kind of unofficially killed it for me. Even though I got to, like, episode 16.
Maybe I'll breathe some new life into it for you then.
I don't think so, because I had...
Maybe not.
I listened back to it, and I had a lot of the same problems.
Well, let's see. Let's see if I have any of the same problems or not. We opened this episode with a race at Sakura's school, which seems to be like a school-wide sports event. I guess that's what the sports day thing is. I think the most comparable thing here in American public schools would be like field day, right?
Yeah, same concept. In Japan, like the spring sports day kind of thing is like a national event. They always happen like early May kind of time. So they're a big national tradition.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I don't know in reality, but...
Yeah, and a lot of the events that you see there, like the relays and the running around pushing a giant ball, and I don't think they showed it. I don't think they showed, like, the I don't even remember what it's called. It's like horse jousting or something, where, like, you have a 3-person team and then 1 person on top, and you're trying to steal hats. That may have... I don't think that was in this episode, but... No. I'm only bringing it up because there is a Cardcaptor Sakura Game Boy game that is the sports festival game, and it's just a bunch of sports day themes.
Is it fun?
It's fun enough, actually, for a Game Boy Color game. I got most of the way through it. I don't think I ever won it.
Can you play it, like, if you don't speak Japanese? Like,
totally. The button prompts are still your standard A, B, up, down, left, right. Like, you can button mash your way
There's not
through.
Enough text that you're, like... Or whatever.
Yeah, you'll miss the story element of it, but if you're familiar with the series, you'll know the story.
But also, you can just translate it with Google Translate Video. Well, if it'll pick up a Game Brain.
That font is pretty rough.
That's true. Anyway, that sounds like fun, actually, to me. I might check it out. But,
yeah.
So there you go. That's cool to me that there's a game that's kind of based on this episode-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't know if they include the flower thing in it, but...
No, it is straight up just a sports game. I actually played it on my Twitch channel back in like 2021, and I think the video for it is still on my channel somewhere.
But I thought it looked like fun, and we get some Julian like immediately, so there you go.
We get about half of the Julian. Like, they cut a bunch of him out, like, but he does survive this episode, so no Julian cut count this year. But they cut the scene of him taking pictures, which is not weird, because like he's taking them for like Sakura's dad who's not there.
Which we find out later, though. They mention it.
Yeah. But
So.
they cut that out. Like, I have it in my notes there. They had to cut like a minute of footage. So they cut Julian taking pictures. They cut Tomoyo gushing over Sakura, and they also like the scene that follows that, where like I think getting ready in her cheerleading uniform. There's kind of a cutaway to kind of focus on Tomoyo for a second, and Sakura mentions that like Tomoyo never talks about her dad, because this was the scene where Madison and Tomoyo are saying that their mom is going to show up. So yeah, the Cardcaptors dub doesn't bother talking about Tomoyo or Madison's dad.
No, it's more about her mom.
The pacing of this entire episode kind of feels rough, and I originally thought it was the Novana dub, but watching because I watched them side by side, like, no, the pacing of this episode in general is just sort of off.
It's like a flat line, and then it kind of like leaps up a little bit at the end, and then gently lands, in my opinion.
Yeah, even before that, like when they're doing all the sports stuff, like, okay, you're a musician, right?
Yeah.
So how did the music for the sports events make you feel?
Honestly, I didn't really like feel much from it, because
Yeah.
I was taking notes, and it just, how do I say this? I liked this aspect of it, but the music was not like positive, or it was kind of neutral to me. It makes this episode largely felt like we got to see just a day of her life that didn't really have much to do with the cards.
Right.
And that's why it's paced the way that it was. Does that make sense? It's almost like if it was suddenly a slice of life show for one episode.
Yeah, but Cardcaptor Sakura is very much like a slice of life kind of series with a
guess
little
you're
bit
right.
of, I mean, she's way more in the mold of classical and magical girls from the 80s than she is the modern idea of them, thanks to Madoka.
Right.
So like this was always kind of she's kind of in that borderline area, like at the turn of the century.
I think what you're getting at, though, is like it was not exciting.
No, the music was not exciting.
No.
At all. Like, I wrote that specific because I went back to the Japanese. I'm like, which of the actual iconic Cardcaptor Sakura songs are here? It's like, oh, cool. It's this upbeat, energetic thing, and like it's kind of crescendoing with the action of the race. And you know, what's the track playing in Novana? It's this low energy kind of nothing music. It's a completely new track as far as I know, but it doesn't capture the feeling of the scene at all.
I know exactly what this sounds like. This is like the music that should be playing if you're in a video game, whether it's an RPG or an action game or what, and you're looking out over like a green rolling hills spread with a lot of sunshine, and there's like meadows and trees, and it's bright and happy, and it has nothing to do with sports or combat, or it's like a calm, happy, like we're starting out on our adventure, aren't we happy? Like it's there's a lot of strings. It's in a major key for anyone who's a music theory person. So you know right there, that means there's not a lot of tension in it. It's like a happy sound versus a more mysterious or sad or interesting sound for minor keys. And I just can't stop seeing like butterflies. Like it has nothing to do like.
Yeah, it's just like this is a race.
It's cute.
This is a race where like Sakura and Lee are competing with each other.
I would expect,
and they don't have a music score that like has any energy behind it.
If people want to hear it, I think you're going to put it, but it's at about like 4 minutes or so into the episode.
And not only that, it's just like the music just kind of like when the race ends, the music just ends, not like naturally
abrupt, yeah.
ends. It just ends. Whereas like, you know, in the original sub, the music is timed in such a way that the music climaxes. That's not the word for music.
No, it is. Actually.
Oh, it is? Okay, yeah. The climax of the song is at the climax of the race.
Sorry, I got distracted because I paused at a really unfortunate moment. It's like Lee getting ready to get on the balance beams, and I noticed a lot of scale issues this episode.
Oh, yeah.
If you pause at 4:05 on the YouTube version of this, people can see it. His legs are so stick thin. It's alarming. It's like not thick enough to pretend to be a bone.
You know, I did actually write a note here that, like, there is some janky animation in this episode. I mean,
yeah,
there's some janky animation every episode. Especially,
I know, it doesn't, it's fine with me, but it is a little weird.
Especially when, like, you know, the series has been upscaled to 1080p or 4K, and it's like,
true.
Look, you're gonna see the errors in higher definition now.
I'm glad you pointed out the music, though, because it was really out of place. Mm-hmm. The one moment that it did kind of fit was them pushing the big ball, because that's sort of circus-esque. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the reason I didn't notice is because as soon as I saw that, I was like, I want to do that. So I wrote that down. I want to do the pushing the ball challenge. But yeah, no, it's a great track, completely the wrong place for it.
And also, like, man, we're really unfocused here, but like, no, that like, okay, we're not that unfocused because
the part of the episode.
The point is still also not only does the music not fit, but like, so they also change the tone of the race basically because, like, you know, at the beginning, in the original version, at the beginning, like Sakura and Shaoran are lining up, and then Yukito cheers for them, and they both get all like, oh, Yukito, and they both get super like motivated. We're gonna show off for our man, whereas in the dub, they obviously cut the frame of Julian, so it's just Sakura and Lee who are going to compete each other for purely athletic reasons. And obviously that changes the tone. I don't necessarily think like it ruins it at all. It's just, like I said, it's a very different tone where instead of competing for love, they're just... I actually think this is more positive. They're competing as equals for no other reason than pure competition.
There didn't feel like there was any like hidden meaning there. I actually didn't notice that they cut much out of that either. Mm-hmm. It felt like I just think they needed a better track for it. But I get what you're saying. I kind of agree that is a little better. There are some messages that are in this show that we've discussed before that I don't think the creators would put into it today. And I do think that if they were going to remake this episode, that might be one of the things they restructured a little. I don't know. I
doubt it. For the record, all the people who love Cardcaptor Sakura, I am not shaming the love triangle of Sakura, Shaoran, and Yukito at all. I am. I'm totally I'm totally good with it. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that this is one of those cases that kind of prove my point that, like, you can excise the romance elements from Cardcaptor Sakura, and it still totally works. Like, Cardcaptors is proof that you can take the love out of Cardcaptor Sakura, and the series mostly still works.
It is, now that you say it that way, because the intention of the show was to explore all those relationships, mm-hmm. It does sort of feel like a major task, doesn't it?
Yeah, like I said, it changes the tone of the scene in a way that doesn't actually hurt the message. Like, they're still competing against each other, but they're competing against each other, like I said, as equals.
Yeah.
For pure ego, which to some people that might actually...
Isn't that usually what that is?
Yeah, exactly. Like, some people, like, if people don't appreciate that, and it's like, well, you just probably never won a thing in your life, have you?
I do, especially as a musician, have the whole, like, do it for the experience mentality, but when you win, it is fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know anyone who's won something, except maybe a trick, you know what I mean? Where it's, like, not what you thought, but then been like, oh, man, I hated that. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, is right after that when she invites Madison to lunch.
Yeah, she does that, and that because she does the cheerleading thing, and then I think they go back to do the race. Right? Is that the order of it? And because they do the race.
Yeah,
Sakura and Lee race. Sakura wins, and then she also invites Lee to lunch, which
his voice is different.
Is it? It did. I guess maybe
it sounds weird to me. Maybe. I don't know why.
Actually, that would be an interesting thing to listen for, because, okay, so Lee has two voices in the Cardcaptors dub. Rhys Huber is the original one, He was through, as far as I know, the entire Cardcaptors like WB run, where like it started at episode 7. I see that would actually answer that long-held question we had about what order these episodes were dubbed in, and if they went back and they redubbed all of these episodes after the second Lee voice took over, that would be an interesting answer to the question, because that would mean that if he sounds weird to you, then that might be because, I'd have to go back and listen, it might be because that's Jordan Killick voicing him and not Rhys Huber.
It sounds like whoever the alternative was to me.
So yeah, I'll have to go back and listen.
He's because you said these were younger people. He could have started his voice changing.
Yeah, Rhys Huber was 15, I think, when he was recording these.
His voice should have changed by then, right?
I mean, you could have still been a little crackly, but yeah.
But I mean, it's not going to be like a full like we're going down an octave.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna have to play those like side to side and or back to back.
I swear it's a different person.
That again, that would answer
or he
the
was
question.
Sick. I don't know. There are some episodes of Sailor Moon where you can fully tell that the person was recording with a cold, and now I know why. Because for some reason, like this lady who was doing it, they were like on a really harsh deadline. But in my mind, I've always been like, wouldn't you just wait for them to get better?
No, not when the print is due tomorrow.
Exactly, but I'm like, this is like a forever thing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, once it's done, it's done. Anyway, maybe I'm too idealistic.
Maybe.
So,
anyway, getting back to that. So,
yes.
So Sakura invites Lee to lunch, and he just accepts. That's the dub. In the sub, he's like, "No, I don't want to." Like, screw you. I don't want to go to lunch. And then he sees that Yukito is going to be joining them for lunch. So, and they cut this scene out. It's where Shaoran turns around and grabs Sakura's shirt, like all shy and blushy, and being like, "Okay, I'll go to lunch with you." It's like it's again. Right after I just said this show definitely works without the romance, I also find myself missing those cute moments when they are cut out.
I get what you mean.
But also, if you had never known about the original, you wouldn't miss those scenes, as you made clear several times. If you didn't know they were cut out, you don't miss them.
No, exactly. And it's something that like I learned about later, but even though I've sat down at like I think it was 2010 or something when I sat down and watched the whole series through, I only watched it as Cardcaptor Sakura one time, and I've spent more time with Cardcaptors, you know what I mean? So I don't like I know about the relationships and stuff, but it's almost like it just leaves my brain when I'm not really actively thinking about it. And so when I'm watching this show, I'm kind of can see like there's moments when he's sitting next to Julian and blushing, and now I know why. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the time as I was a kid, I was just like, this Lee character is weird. Like that's what I thought.
When you remove a bunch of those aspects of him, he actually just comes off as kind of like this stuck-up brat with an attitude
who doesn't understand anything social, which I kind of live for characters, frankly, who struggle socially. So I like that aspect of it. Look, they accidentally made a we'll go with coded as you see fit character and let the audience decide what word to put there. But no, I kind of think his character in Cardcaptors is more interesting because you don't know why. And does that make sense? So you can kind of guess at like what it is instead.
Maybe for me it wasn't that. I mean, for me, Cardcaptors is kind of what ruined my impression of Shaoran as a character. Like, I don't even like him in the Japanese version because in my mind it's just this. He's always just been this stuck-up brat. Which, I mean, granted, that's the Kira way of looking at things. He is to me, he's always going to be this snobby little 10-year-old, like no matter how he changes in the series, and he's changed a lot throughout Clear Card, but I've honestly in Clear Card, let's not get into Clear Card.
Okay.
We're distracted enough. Let me just say that, yeah, to me, I always felt it kind of hurt his character, but to the point where it stuck with me more than the original.
That's unfortunate.
Shaoran. Yeah.
Well, they're two different experiences. I think it's because at the time I was his age when I was watching the show, so I probably held more space for him being like not normal and grumpy over nothing, kind of, because I was like sort of in that age. You know what I mean? When you're that age, like it's preteen to teenager. We all kind of go through it.
Yeah, I was 12 too, and I didn't like him then.
Yeah, fair enough. But also, I was fascinated by the magic aspect of it.
Sure.
So I was sort of ignoring that a little, I guess. Anyway, Sakura's dad shows up with some really great desserts. What are these?
Pudding? I don't remember. Did they say what they are? But I'm pretty sure they're pudding, right?
Let me see if I can describe them. They're like these cups that are in a cooler of ice.
Oh, they're like gelatin or something.
There's like fruit on top. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was that or like sorbet or
it's like Jell-O, I think.
Well, I was giving him more credit. I thought it was some fancy.
Well, I mean, it's not like Jell-O, but it's like, it's homemade, like gelatin of some kind. Yeah, it's
cute though. I like good dad.
It's good. It's good presentation. Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, like Lee was in that scene, and then he's suddenly just not in that scene anymore because they cut him leaving the scene. He's just like he's there.
How do I miss that? I don't notice that stuff
at all. He's there while Julian is stuffing his face, and then they cut and they cut to Aiden, like the father showing up, and Lee is just gone.
It's so funny because like
got removed.
Right at this point too is where this is like where we're totally having different experiences with this episode, because I go, oh, I love the vibe of this episode already. Outdoor picnics are so fun, and then I put to think about because of bugs. And we meet Madison's mom, who I have no memory of at all, and she looks like what I imagine someone who was designing a powerful businesswoman character in the 90s might draw. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. I
don't know how else to describe her. It's like a powerful red dress, cool hair that's like a bob, but not really. And she's literally like business lady. Like, that's what you think. Yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's talk about Sonomi, or Samantha as
Samantha.
Her name
I enjoyed her. So, what about you?
She was entirely cut out of the North American run. I think none of her episodes made it in, so that's why you probably don't remember her very well.
Okay.
In terms of her design, I love Sonomi's design, but you do remind me of a person who I showed Sonomi to somewhat recently, like within the last year, and their only response was, that sure is a haircut.
It really is a haircut.
I'm not... and, as someone who's a sucker for symmetry, I do agree that, boy, that sure is a haircut.
It took me a minute. She
makes it work, though.
I thought it was a bob, and I just kept on, like, seeing it funny until I realized that it's, like, a half bob.
Yeah, it's like, her bangs are only one side of her head. Like, the rest of it's, like, it's a tight, like, pixie cut, or maybe it's a little longer than that, and then bangs on one side, and nothing... Well, no, the bangs go all the way across, and then there's this extra bit that just goes off the side.
I think what it's supposed to be is that she has the same thing on both sides, but she tucks it behind her ear on one side. Because it's the way it is in this image that I'm looking at. But it does look weird.
I'm looking at her standard. So I did look up her voice, by the way. So her actress is Venus Terzo, who is a woman who actually has quite the anime voice acting pedigree. I did not realize. So she is someone who's got... she's got some history. I've just never really heard her in anything, but it's mostly because she's done stuff I guess I haven't watched. But she was in Ranma One Half. She was the female Ranma. She's, let's see, who else is she? She's Princess Malerna in Escaflowne. What things have I seen here? She's in Gundam Destiny as Talia Gladys. There's a bunch of things. It's not exactly like the longest history I've ever seen, but the point is, yeah, I feel like I would have heard her voice somewhere, but as far as I know, she's this is the first time.
She didn't stand out to me, really.
She doesn't have a particularly unique voice. But
well, I mean, I didn't remember hearing her before. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, oh, that's so-and-so, or whatever.
Yeah, because she's also...
or whoever.
Yeah, she also does a few live-action things. She's... Oh, right, because she's Black Arachnia in Beast Wars, which that's a very, very different voice she's doing in that series than...
Good to know.
Yeah.
So she has range.
She does have some range.
We find out about her character, Samantha, or what was her name?
Yeah, Samantha. Okay, we're here. We're here at the moment. That broke me.
What is it about this that bothers you?
Why don't you take the reins here and tell us first about the relationship? Why don't you tell us about Samantha?
This is what I put in my notes. We found out that they used to be friends as kids, but there's also a competitive streak between. This is Sakura's dad and her. Mm-hmm. And they're going to run in the parents-only race, which I thought was a cute idea. And then we have this weird monologue from Tori that I thought felt strange because I was like, why does someone's kid know this much about their high school experience? Do you know what I mean?
Do tell. What is that monologue? Please
so he goes, they stayed friends for their mother's sake, and then like something happened where they got distanced. I didn't even write the whole thing down because I was like listening to it like, what? Okay. This, I have to say, this part is convoluted. Do you have the whole monologue?
No, well, I mean, more or less.
You can put it in.
I'll put the footage in, but okay. But the cliff notes of it is that in the Nelvana dub, Samantha, Aiden, and Natasha, like the parent group here, were all in high school together. So they were friends. That's the thing they went with. You know why that's like incredibly wrong?
No. Why?
And you can tell it in the footage that they leave in the show.
No, why? I missed something.
You know that okay, so here's how they covered up. Here's how they covered up this the fact that in the sub Nadeshiko was 16 and Fujitaka was 25.
Oh.
He married his student.
No, ma'am.
So, like, the dub they decided to go with is that they're all the same age.
I believe it. They look like it.
I mean, I guess.
I like the Nelvana version better. Thank you.
Okay, you like that version. Most people, I mean, okay, let's get it out of the way here. The whole student-teacher thing, not cool, but also, in the context of Japanese shoujo tropes, it was, like, peak. And also, like, you know, Nadeshiko was 16 at the time, which was perfectly legal at the time in Japan for a long time.
Fair enough for the creators of the show.
I'm not defending it. I'm keeping it in the context of when it was written.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of, it's important that we do that because these shows, and like, it's impossible to celebrate old things if you don't. You know what I mean? Even
setting that aside, I hate the dub change that they made.
They could have explained it better.
But I'll admit, I have no idea how they could have papered it over better. Other than
I don't know why they had to have any form of relationship. They don't leave enough of her in the show.
Oh, wait. I just thought of how they could have papered it over better. They could have just said they were college friends.
Or they could have just been like, hey, we used to be friends and now we're not. And then shut the heck up.
You didn't have to keep it as high school. They could have just made them as college.
I didn't even notice that at all. Oh. Well, there you go. I'm glad they took that. See, for me, okay, how do I explain this? As a teacher, that kind of stuff, like for people who are not educators, those fantasies might be fun and cute for you, but it's like the last thing anyone who is a teacher wants is for one of their students to become obsessed with them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's scary. It's life ending. It's like some really damaged teenagers are dangerous. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like, to me, they save me emotional labor by removing that from the show, and then I don't have to think about any of that. So I like it for that reason, where it's like, oh, I can watch this episode and I don't even have to think about any of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get you. So
I don't know if it's something that I don't know if people who are not teachers think about, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, to me, it's one of those things where it's like, I get really uncomfortable when I see people, like, whatever that...
Right.
What was it? There was some gay movie that everyone was obsessed with where some underage kid, like, bit a peach. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
That's all I'm going to say about it, but I was like, I don't understand why we're all acting like this is cute and sexy. It's fucking weird. Anyway, that's just my take on it. But I think anyone who works with kids would probably feel the same way, where they're like, we have to deal with that very real, like, high level of thinking all the time, so we don't really want to, like, see that in our media. Does that make sense?
It's just not romantic for you.
No, it's weird and scary.
Just remember, the show wasn't written for you. It was written for, at the time, 10 to 15-year-old girls. So
exactly.
From their side of things, it was romantic.
And I know this is shocking, but I'm not a 15-year-old girl.
What?
I know that you thought that's how I hooked you into doing it.
I have been hoodwinked.
Anyway.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing just at you. I'm also still privately having a mental breakdown over this change anyway. Because here's the other thing. Here's the other part. Getting back to it. So the other thing is that it reframes the animosity between Samantha and Aiden as they used to be close friends who drifted apart because Aiden started dating Natasha. Whereas in the sub, the reason why there's animosity there is a lot deeper, but it's the same deal of it was Sonomi and Nadeshiko were very, very close. Not romantically close, but they were cousins. So they were super close, and then this adult man comes into her life. She Nadeshiko falls in love with him and gets married to him. And basically leaves the family to be with this nothing guy. So it's not just Sonomi who hates Fujitaka, it's the entire family that hates him for taking Nadeshiko away from them. And then, Nadeshiko dies 10 years. So the thing is, in the sub, there's drama. There's an actual,
I get what you're saying.
There's an interesting drama. And in the dub, they turned it into, we went to a national running event once, and he beat, and that's why I don't like him. It is disgustingly simplified.
Removing my own issues from it, from just a storytelling perspective, I understand what you're saying. Where it's it took something that actually had stakes and was there's a real reason here. It's an understandable drama, and we can see why there's animosity, and they turned it into less than elementary school level.
Yeah, to say nothing of me just being too focused of you guys were in high school. Why were boys and girls running in the same national track meet? That's of course he beat you. He's 17, and
well, this one I'm of course he beat you. He's this 18-foot tall man.
Yeah, he's
and
50%
you're
legs.
Yeah, I'm his legs are longer than the rest of his whole body. It's all his legs. So yeah, no, that was funny.
So yeah, that's the big thing that bugs me, is the thing that would bug the community, the Cardcaptor Sakura community. It's just like I said, taking away, even setting aside obviously some of the aspects of it that don't sit well by today's sensibilities. The fact that you summed it up well. You took a story that was actually had some drama and interesting aspect of it, and you turned it into something super trivial.
Yeah, and by the way, now that we're through that part, this is not the only story or television show or anything in history that has content like this in it.
Oh, of course.
So this is you're saying, it's a product of the time, and it shows what it kind of highlights to me is that back then what was acceptable on one part of the world was viewed very differently in the other part of the world, and that was largely because we were not as global as we are now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was written for its audience, and they didn't think it was wrong, and the dubbers had to just kind of scramble. I mean, it's Sailor Moon. Usagi's 14, Mamoru's 18, right, in the original.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
And then I think they made him 16 in the Deke dub just to make it a little more kosher, even though he doesn't go to school, he doesn't live with his parents, he dresses and behaves like just a guy. Oh right, he's an orphan, I forgot. But
yeah,
in all ways on screen, Mamoru Damien behaves like an adult.
Which,
So,
to be fair, in his defense, he shows no interest in her for quite a while.
True. In his defense, he is not like trying to court her or anything. It is
He's literally like, "You're annoying, go away."
Yeah,
for the first 2 seasons.
It's really not like reciprocated until they have that whole reincarnation memory thing going forward.
Yeah, it's really we forget because of their love story how in the beginning he's really kind of a dick.
Cardcaptors doesn't have that excuse.
No,
there's no reincarnation involved.
Well, I still think though it was like Tori did give a lot of information, and even in that explanation of it, I was kind of like, why does he know all this?
Yeah. Yeah, well, in the sub, he's also explaining it, and they don't really. I mean, you're right. Actually, when you ask it like that, it's like, wow, like for this 17-year-old knows a lot about his parents' relationship,
interpersonal stuff. Yeah, just like this is really a lot to lay on your kid.
Yeah, so I do kind of wonder. I've never really thought about why Toya knows
it. It's just poor writing, really.
It is a little iffy, but yeah, I mean, you got to get exposition somewhere, right? So
yeah,
Toya must have figured it out somewhere, or Fujitaka like treats his son with a lot of respect. It's like, well, son, let me tell you how I met your mother.
You know what's so funny is I think I would not have liked this episode as much.
It was in high school chemistry,
right? I think
I was the teacher.
That's so creepy. I think I would have not enjoyed it as much if I watched the original. I liked the Nelvana better. Moving ahead, I did quote Samantha here. She goes, "Hey, Avalon, eat my dust," when the race starts. And I thought that was just like... It was so...
basic smack talk ever.
Like hokey pokey. Yeah. Like, but it made me... It was one of those things where it was so bad I laughed at it. You know what I mean? I was just like, really? Okay.
At this point, I'm just cry laughing because it's like, oh, I'm mentally dying inside.
Right. And then, so we have the parents' race, which I think this idea is cute on the surface.
Yeah.
It seems like fun.
I think it's a standard part of...
Right. In here, no.
Not here. I mean, like the Japanese field day.
Oh my god, parents here, some of them would be fine, but... No.
This is America.
We don't need that. Thank you. There's too much competition here already. Anyway. Sorry,
I was reading my notes too. Like, we've gotten... Well, I mean, we haven't gotten off track. We've been talking about the episode. It's just, you're right. This episode doesn't have a lot of magic in it. We're only just getting to... Right? Oh, yeah, there's flowers everywhere.
Well, they did a good job of having it slowly built up. And, like, they threw a couple in the beginning, and because I know what the episode is, I'm like, there it is. Right. But if you had just been watching through the series and not paying attention and maybe didn't read the episode title,
sure,
you would be like, okay, flower. Like, you wouldn't pick up on it right away, and I thought that was pretty good. But this is really the only effect of the card, this episode.
Yeah, it just makes flowers.
Yeah, and they just continue to rain and build up until people are like struggling to get through them. And we finally have the magic start, really, with Sakura using her card. What does she do?
So that once they realize like there's way too many flowers for it to be like a natural thing, like Sakura pulls out her key, which... And this is actually the same in both versions where Madison is asking, you know, are you going to use your magic right here? It's like, well, no one's looking. It's like, sure, everyone's pretty distracted, but also like there's still a lot of people. You think just maybe you'd try and like make your way somewhere else, but whatever.
I didn't even think about that.
They use Fly to get out and figure out where Flower is, which she makes herself pretty obvious. She's just a glowing pink ball on top of the school.
Over there!
Are you going to skip the cell phone?
Well, yeah, like when they get to that point, they call Kiro for advice, like, you know, what's going on, and Kiro is back home playing on his Super PlayStation with Pac-Man sounds. I'm pretty sure I didn't write it down, but the point is
probably
it's the wrong sounds for the game he's playing.
Buster, one Kiro special coming right up! Ah, yeah! Oh no, he's not supposed to do that!
I think they did that on purpose.
Of course, it's the standard stock video game sound. And yeah, he just tells them that it's Flower, like, you know, it's a girl with curly hair, right? It's like, yep. It's like, cool, it's Flower, she's harmless.
About the Flower card, though.
It's like, as aesthetics go, like, it's a good card.
It's one of my favorite like card forms. You know what I mean? Because we get the true forms, and I could see this card being actually really interesting if used creatively, and especially if you combined it with certain other cards to be offensive. I think it's possible.
Yeah, I think Clamp just liked this card too. They went out of their way to make this one extra pretty.
Yeah, and I think I like that not all the cards are, as we said before, like aggressive or whatever, but this one is like beyond neutral. It's like positive.
Yeah,
you know?
she just wants to dance.
Yeah, it's like a happy lady. She's just trying to have a good time and throw flowers on things that need flowers. And sometimes she goes overboard.
Just like, a little bit.
Who isn't that lady? But I enjoyed her a lot. I thought that the whole, like, when she approached Sakura, we've never seen a card's true form, like, walk up and touch her like that, I don't think.
The Clow card!
Which I thought was, at first, I was like, oh my god, like, is she going to be okay?
Yeah.
And then they were just dancing. And
Yep.
you're like, oh, that's cute. And she just, at the end, when Sakura seals her, she goes without any resistance. And I loved that a lot. I thought it was really sweet and cute. And it's my aesthetic, and I enjoyed it. Her power officially is that she can create any flower in existence. But I noted there seems to be no limit to how many she can create at a time.
Yeah.
And I imagine if instructed to be used offensively, she could do some really cool things.
Could just drown people in flowers. Which
I mean, really.
it seemed more like a minor inconvenience.
But think about it. Like, if you're trying to hide from something, you can camouflage yourself with her in a forest or something. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to find the right
if you find the right flower, it's like you're walking through the forest like, you couldn't possibly be hiding behind this random pile of roses growing in this one single place.
If she just keeps generating flowers between you and the enemy, they're never going to get to you. She's ultimately a pretty good defensive card, actually.
So this is showing the difference in how we think of the Clow cards, where it's like they're not tools of war.
I guess they're not.
Like, some of them, like, set things on fire, and some are aggressive. Like, one of them is literally bullets and arrows. But no, they're not. They're not meant for fighting. They weren't.
They really present it in Cardcaptors, at least the episodes I've seen, like they are, though.
In Cardcaptors, they definitely tried to make it. That was just like the attempt to make the show more of an action show than it was, is portraying the cards as these dangerous tools of magical war that have to be dealt with. But you know, in the sub, in the manga, and everything else, the longer you spend with it, the more you see that these cards are just they're basic. Like, they are tools. They are they are tools with a mind of their own, but they are tools at the end of the day that are generally neither good nor evil. They're just pure impulse. They're just pure impulse. They do what they do. Like, Fiery sets things on fire, not because she wants the world to burn, but because she is made of fire, and fire burns. Like, you see them. They are living spirits that have power and a mind of their own, but, you know, they're subservient to the person who owns them.
It's such a complex, but I feel like it does really make sense if you can lay it all out on paper, the way the system works. I would visualize it.
Yeah. And even though I say, like, the cards are actually neutral and, like, they just follow their instincts, you also have cards like Watery that absolutely tried to murder people. So, like,
right?
Water doesn't inherently try to kill you, but also, if you walk into a riptide, stuff's going to happen.
It's a destructive force. But yeah, so I have other notes on the flower thing, but we'll get to it later. But the race finished, Sakura's dad won, and Madison's mom is, like, not happy that she lost.
Nope, she's not. And, like, this again is just like, you know, in the sub, it's this moment where Sonomi and Fujitaka kind of, sort of, have a little bit of agreement with each other of just like, we both really loved Nadeshiko and we both miss her and we're both sad. We can connect on that as on a human level, even though, like, Sonomi can't fully let go, you know, of her hatred for Fujitaka. Whereas in the dub, It's like, I'm mad because I lost you in a race. That I'm physically not able to keep up with you anyway.
And also there was flowers.
Yeah, and also there was flowers.
And he was like 14 feet taller than me, so of course he had an advantage.
And he was
like
way faster than you. So it's like, again, you took this very nice drama by any standard if you just adjust the ages just slightly, just add a few more to one of those sliders, and then we can just set all of that other problem aside. You took a nice drama and you boiled it down to something stupid and petty.
Yeah, and it's like, even with the drama being what it was at the end of the day, when it really comes down to it, these are animated characters. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we can all relax a little.
I like my stories.
No, but what I mean is, like, when they do touch on things that are a little, like, tough like that, I think we can all take a breath, too, and remember that it's like, these are not real people.
Of course they're not, but... Like,
it's fun to act like they are.
I would care just as much if these were, like, real-life actors, and then their story was also butchered this badly.
Exactly.
So, like, animation is still valid.
Fair enough. I thought that we had a great moment with Julian here. They actually left him in saying it's a shame we can't eat flowers.
It's such a shame you can't eat flowers.
Yeah.
And by the way, yes,
which is weird because in the sub he's like, I'm gonna make jelly out of these. So it's like, yeah. So they're like, no.
Well,
like,
for anyone who cares,
you totally can, Julian. You can eat flowers.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know how you're supposed to prepare these, so don't go eat these on your own. Like if you find one.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But according to the internet, yeah, you can eat citrus blossoms, clover, daisies, dandelions, hibiscus, honeysuckle, lavender, lilac, mums, nasturtiums, pansies, roses, sunflowers, and violets, among others. But yeah, so apparently you can eat a lot of flowers. I don't know why we don't more. Probably like not that tasty and not that easy to like farm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and again, you weren't going to eat the flower raw. He's going to make jelly out of it. So like,
true. There's like rose stuff.
I assume
like
that you
jam.
just need a lot of flower petals to make a decent jam out of.
Probably. There's a place that sells rose jam nearby. I should get some. But anyway, I did think that was kind of a fun little conversation. And Samantha and Sakura's dad, who Fujitaka, right?
Yeah, the Japanese name is Fujitaka. His English name is Aiden.
Aiden. I'll get it eventually. They're arguing, and we find out that she says something about being the president of her own toy company when they're fighting.
Yep, the Daidoji toy company is a thing.
Which I enjoy that fact about her.
It's not just a toy company. Daidoji makes like all sorts of stuff. It makes the camera equipment that Tomoyo uses. So,
and the cell phone probably.
And the cell phone, yes. Those all come from the same company. So it's more like
cool.
in the sub it's more like just Daidoji generic electronics, I guess. I don't know. Whereas in the dub they changed it to a toy company.
Yeah, and honestly, like now that we're at the end of the episode, the drama missing from their whole thing, it does kind of like take away from how impactful I guess it is that her and Madison are friends. Do you see what I mean? Because they're kind of mending that history by being friends in a way, and that's not really a thing if they remove that.
Yeah, they kind of it makes. I mean, I've already said it. The whole thing makes Samantha sound petty. Like she hasn't gotten over the fact that she lost a race in her high school days. So now she's like, I'm the president of a toy company. I'm successful. It's like, no one was saying you weren't. It's like
that's like getting into an argument with someone over the dishes and then yelling at them about how you have a job. It's like everyone does. It just
kind of like it just makes her. It ruins her character. Like
I get what you mean. Her character was so nothing to me in this episode. Honestly,
yeah.
I didn't like the episode because of her. I liked it for the card. I thought the sports day thing was fun and like but there's a couple of like we're almost at the end.
We are.
Where
they actually cut a lot of the last scene out.
Oh really?
Yeah. Well, Sakura and Madison have a little bit of a conversation along that line. How it's like it's cool that they're friends, even like when their parents knew each other too. The sub actually adds a little more information. Although it also, to me, it kind of it kind of adds like information that feels conflicting because it's like, so Madison or Tomoyo mentions that the reason why her hair is long is because her mother asks her to keep it long because it reminds her of Nadeshiko. So it's like, so Tomoyo knows about Nadeshiko, yet somehow she didn't know that she and Sakura were. It's a weird thing that I feel like is a remnant of like, I don't think Clamp quite knew how everything was going to work out. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. It just feels like
I get a little bit of a sense of chaotic writing in this series,
there
more
definitely
than
was
others.
In the early manga, there was a little bit of disagreement and some inconsistency with how they were going forward.
Well, Clamp is a team, right?
They are. They're four. Like there's the head writer of Cardcaptor Sakura is I think Nanase Okawa, and I think Mokona is the art director of it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how Nekui and oh boy, I'm forgetting the other one. Is her name Tsubaki? No, Tsubaki Nekui. I think the same person. There's another one who I'm missing. I'm sorry, but I don't know how they factor in exactly. But yeah, that's just like some of them were taking a little bit of liberty with some plot elements, which include in the manga there is a confession from Tomoyo to Sakura that Sakura's not listening to. But that's completely removed from both versions of the anime because we can't have any of that.
Right.
No affection at all here in Nelvana, and in the anime they more or less cut it out. They just kind of keep the look of Tomoyo looking longingly at Sakura as she runs off.
I don't
Sorry,
know.
I got off on a tangent there. The point is, like, that scene is there of them walking and discussing their families a little bit, but they cut it out a little bit because they spend that whole scene holding hands, which
it was more romantic than they wanted.
I guess, like, two kids just holding hands, like, it has connotations, I guess, but also it's just like kids holding, right?
Yeah, but it seems like they were really
A Clamp was definitely pushing it initially. But again, this was.
I mean, with Nelvana cutting it out, though, right?
Oh, Nelvana definitely tried to cut it out, even though they still left one frame of it in. Oops.
I don't know. I remember my friends complaining about that aspect of the series.
Two friends walking and holding hands.
I don't know. I think that stuff missing is either here nor there at this point with this episode, though, because so much other stuff was removed. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just kind of like par for the course. They took out the full history here. Also, they should have, like, didn't you say earlier they should have just made it a college story?
Yeah, they could have just made Nadeshiko, Natasha, Aiden, and Samantha college students, and then they could have just avoided the whole thing.
That's what I would have done, frankly. See, hindsight is 20/20, but that would have been a lot easier.
So it could have been so simple.
Easy.
At least if she was a college student marrying her college professor, still would have been a little weird, but like not nearly as problematic as the original version. People are definitely moving away from it as they feel a little more squicky about it. But yeah, for a long time it was just considered a completely standard romance trope.
They did leave a cute moment here, though.
Yeah. What cute moment?
Well, we actually get to see her use the flower card for something right away.
Oh yeah. Where she uses the card to kind of settle the fight between Aiden and Samantha. She just makes a Nadeshiko flower.
Yeah, which kind of speaks to what you were saying earlier about the way the cards are meant to be used. Mm-hmm. Because essentially what it did was it kind of reminds them both of her and releases this tension. And then they can move forward. It helps them process their feelings a little bit. And like that kind of stuff can be like life-changing for some people. So if you think about it like that, if it has the ability, if used at the right time, to help people heal emotionally, that's pretty useful, right? Mm. So I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. And then we see Madison and Sakura talk about being best friends forever because it's their destiny. I'm assuming that wasn't in the other one.
I don't think they used that wording in the sub, but yeah, I mean it was still kind of the same tone where it's neat that our parents knew each other and now we're friends.
Yeah, and they end the episode by being like, now we're going to work on our parents and make them friends again. And
Good luck with that.
Right, and then we get our Kuro's Corner.
Yeah. One side note on there, I also just mentioned, or So Nadeshiko is the name of a flower in Japanese. That's why like that flower that they get is significant. It's named for her. That flower, I had to look it up, is the Dianthus superbus, or a fringed pink, which apparently, I'm just reading it straight off the Wikipedia here, native to Europe and Northern Asia from France to Norway and East Japan. So it doesn't really have a fancy name that I guess anyone would recognize over here. Maybe in Europe it's got one, but the point is I just noticed that in the episode they don't actually name it. They just call it Samantha's favorite flower.
Yeah,
so you just sort of lose that extra little bit. And like, yeah, it's the same thing where it's like Sakura is the name of a flower, so you kind of miss that. You lose how to, like, in the Kinomoto family, the kids are named after flowers. Toya, like Tori, the toe in Toya is peach blossom. So it's just it's a fun little bit of wordplay that you lose when you do that. But like you lose the wordplay for like Yukito's name too. Like Julian's name Yukito is Snow Rabbit. Like literally the characters for Snow Rabbit, which plays into the whole like rabbits on the moon thing, which Sailor Moon, but also like like you lose all that wordplay when you come to America. Like that's not a unique to Nelvana thing. That's just an unfortunate side effect of dubbing.
No, that makes sense. And it's why like there is sort of a challenge when we do dubs like this, because we have dubs now that are just direct translations. And that doesn't always work because of what you're saying. It's like when you directly translate an expression, it doesn't make sense. You have to use the correct meaning. Like you don't want to put just what the words they're saying. You want to put what they mean. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
And so when dubs can be overly purist, I think it kind of ruins them a little. But anyway, let's rate the episode. I'm going to let you go first.
Solid 0. I hate this episode. I mean, okay, look, I'll give it a 1. I'll give it a 1 because I like the Cardcaptor Sakura version, and the parts of this episode I like them running and doing sports and the flower card. I'll give them the 1 for that, but I hate this episode because of like I don't generally go to war with the changes that Nelvana made, but this one I will die on this hill. This episode almost ruined my entire Cardcaptors experience. And I understand that without, and I say this all the time, without Cardcaptor Sakura, the episode is fine, the story is fine, but it still sucks.
Fair enough. Okay, I don't know. I'm so curious where our listeners are going to land on this one, if they're going to agree with you or not. Originally, I was going to give this a 4, but after we did our recap, I think I'm going to do a 3.5, because I do agree with you that the changes actually do significantly detract in this one.
I think this is the first time really where the changes truly hurt the narrative.
Yes. The thing that is frustrating about it additionally is, like you said, there were easy, obvious options that they didn't do for some reason, and we don't know why. But that does sort of additionally kind of bum us out, or me anyway, because it's like you could have still kept all of that drama and just made it less weird.
Yeah.
With like one word being different. But anyway, other than that, the positives, I really enjoyed getting to see the whole sports day thing. It's something I would not personally probably have known existed without seeing this episode, frankly, because I'm not like, I don't know about you, but I don't Google like Japanese holidays that often.
If you watch enough anime, you'll see these tropes come up. I'm kind of surprised that. Well, I guess they're more of an elementary school thing than a high school thing, so maybe you don't see them in.
I'm remembering one weird episode sort of like this in the 4th season of Sailor Moon, but because it focuses so much on side characters, it's like not that memorable yet. But either way, they don't stand out to me. I love anything with a flower theme. Any kind of Fern Gully-esque whatever is like my jam. Somehow, Fern Gully's come up a lot lately. And I thought the flower card design still, it's like one of my, it might be my favorite. Of all of the originals.
it is a really good card. I will go with that. Like Flower as a card, I'll give a 5 for, because it's a very lovely card.
It's great. The card design is good. The effect is interesting. It highlights sort of your point about the cards in general, which is that they are not all necessarily meant to be used for war.
No.
And without this episode, that could be lost in the Cardcaptors version specifically.
And so, like I said, this episode didn't air in North America as far as I know.
No, it didn't. But we do have it now. So, anyway, yeah, 3.5. It's kind of middle for me.
0.
Knowing the changes.
I'm gonna give it. I'll give it the 1. I am interested because it's been a while. The next episode is going to be at Madison's house, so we're gonna get another episode with Samantha. I'm wondering what changes they make there, because Samantha Sonomi goes into more history. And I'm wondering how they kind of paper over that, but like I don't think they necessarily have to try as hard in that episode, because it didn't leave the lasting impact that this episode had, because when I did Defending Cardcaptors back in 2020, that was 4 years ago now, and it still bothers me. So I'm pretty sure this next episode should be fine. And the next episode's actually an episode I love, so like shouldn't be too bad.
The special box.
Yeah, we this is another episode that didn't air in North America, but it's the episode that establishes that Madison is rich. So it's an episode where like people who wrote fan fiction back in the 2000s but never knew about the original Cardcaptor Sakura didn't realize that Madison was supposed to be like a rich girl.
Right.
Yeah. So like that. Yeah, it's an interesting little quirk of the way the series was presented because of the dubbing changes.
I'm excited for that one, and because of the way you described it, I'll have you know, the entire time we're in her rich house, I'm going to have Nene from The Real Housewives of Atlanta going, "I am very rich, bitch," on a loop in my head, and only it's with Madison's voice actress doing it.
Oh,
That's
no.
As soon as you said that, that's like all I could hear was Madison saying that quote over and over again, and it is absolutely hilarious. I wish
Is
I could
Maggie
share
Blue
it.
O'Hara on Cameo? We can totally get her to do
Oh
that.
my god, I would die if we could. Please, Maggie Blue O'Hara, go on Cameo just for that.
I'm making a note. I've never used Cameo before, but I'm just gonna look.
That would be so funny.
I'm
But
gonna assume no, but like
probably. I don't even know if she would be willing to do that.
I don't.
Honestly,
I mean, if she wants money, she can.